The audience will be here in a few hours for the final show of the season, the East Coast Chamber Orchestra with pianist Shai Wosner. In this interview, Jessica Thompson from Echo will speak about listening to an instrument, to an ensemble, to a new place. For now, this room is going through its own dressing room ritual, and the people in it are practicing their own ritual of listening to a familiar place.
We've definitely played in places that are extremely resonant, like maybe a little too much so, and things get a little washy, but it's, this gorgeous halo of sound. And then we've played in places that are really bone dry, where there's a lot of clarity, but not a lot of like ring to the sound. And, it's hard to find that like perfect sweet spot in the middle, but, we make subtle adjustments to our playing to either play, with a little more articulation, a little more incisively, or, try to create a little more ring and bloom to the sound. We're rehearsing in the performance space. We'll sometimes have a member go out and listen and give comments. And of course, it always changes with the audiences there, but at least to get a sense of, what we're hearing on stage versus what's coming out of the audience. I've been playing this instrument for more than 20 years now, and yeah, it feels like an extension of my voice. And I would feel kind of lost without it. And it gets a little temperamental, different weather, different, humidity and whatever. And so, it's definitely, it's not always a 100%, loving relationship. Sometimes like, come on, sound better. But it feels like a part of me. The viola doesn't get the soaring melodic lines quite as often, but we have a kind of power to control things in a subtle way from the middle, and it's we're kind of part of the glue that keeps things together, between the top and the bottom. Sometimes we get to shine, but yeah, and in Echo it's much the same. Echo straddles that space between like chamber ensemble and orchestra, and I think operates probably more like a large chamber ensemble rather than a small orchestra, but with the added benefit of like more sound, more people, just kind of it's like a quartet on steroids. Most things about Echo are very democratic, I would say. We make decisions together about interpretive decisions and things like that all get kind of made by consensus. Everyone is totally free and welcome to speak up in rehearsal. The visual aspect of watching us kind of communicating with each other as we play the music, right? And because we don't have a conductor, we are all actively participating in shaping this performance. And I think you can kind of see that as well as hear it. And so I hope that gives the listener, a lot to hang on to and get excited about sharing this musical experience with us.